Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Sorry, I set up a My Hands solo stream, and I was going to play a board game called The Adventurers, the Temple of Chalk, because my buddies came over on Monday night. We played it because it was Cinco de Mayo, so I said, let me get a Mexican-themed game, and this game is basically Indiana Jones goes into like a Mexican temple. It's literally, it has a giant boulder and everything. It's a lot of fun. It's a quick game. We played it like 3 times. Nobody won twice, and I won once. That you could everybody could get killed by the giant boulder. So that's what happened. But I took out my laptop, which I haven't taken out in months because I've been I've been streaming a lot when I was out of work. Now that I'm back to work, I haven't used my laptop. So not only was it almost at zero, but it's just updating and updating and updating and updating. So I got sick of waiting. I don't know how long. It's probably going to be updating overnight. There's a reason why that laptop was so cheap, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. So I thought, since I promised a live stream, I will do a live stream. And it's an open invite. If anybody wants to come in and talk comics with me, I was just feeling like, let's talk comics. So I'm going to, comics great. Just that's what I do for just a general. I don't have a topic. And then I figured I'd talk about what I've been reading since the last time I did What You're Reading. Just a general comics talk. And as always, Fund My Comic. I just realized that's just general Fund My Comic. That's not my comic. Although Fund My Comic is a great website. You can go there. Okay, let me turn off my phone. So you can go to Fund My Comic Heroic Tales 2 and pledge my comic. Let's check it out. Let's check out my comic. I haven't. If you ever do a crowdfund, ladies and gentlemen, you could get obsessed. My first weekend for my first comic, I was checking every second, and you could drive yourself crazy to the point. I launched on a Friday, and by Sunday, my wife said, "Let's get out of the house. Let's go to a restaurant and sit down and eat something because you're driving yourself crazy." And we left the phones in the car, and she was absolutely 100% right. So now I'm just like, I'm not checking. Like I check like, I don't know, like once or twice a day. I haven't checked today yet. Okay, so I got one more backer today. One more backer. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't get any backers today. Okay, no backers today. I got a whole bunch yesterday, so I can't complain. But let's check out this. So we're at $3,079. So we hit the first stretch goal. So let's see if the stretch goal is up. I'm just going to scroll all the way down to see if the first stretch goal card is listed on the site or not. Okay, it's not there yet. Okay, we got to update that. Okay, I'll send out a message. But here's everything. Here's the Mary Sue cover. I just love that cover. Such great comic. So here are, it's a flip book, 1 comic, 2 covers, best deal in crowdfunding, $10, 2 complete stories, a letters page, a couple of hokey ads. This is the variant cover. So only 2. I didn't feel right, guys. I just saw somebody started today with the new crowdfund, 14 covers. You can buy everything for a $40 discount. Come on, guys. Come on. And then I have a 3rd cover because the fans demanded it. This is the Martina Markota as Mary Sue. Just looking sexy as all get out. And then on the back of this, we'll have Crenshaw as the patriarch. And here's some inside updated colors. I don't know if anybody hasn't seen this yet, but we updated the colors because there was a mix-up. Daniel thought it was the middle of the night, and I was like, no, it's the crack of dawn. So we changed the color, and it just looks so much better. So much better. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And there you go. Original art. Come on, guys, get this Renzo original art. So there's all of that. So I'll just stop the screen. I'll put me back to small, and we got Yang. How you doing, Yang? How's everybody? Anybody want to pop in? Again, I'll put a star in this. Anybody want to pop in and talk about comics with me? So I might as well just start now. I was filibustering to get some people here. I see I got some people watching. I don't normally stream on Tuesdays. Tuesdays normally a game night, but my Tuesday night crew, we kind of fell out of the habit. I gotta call them up again, see if we can restart the Tuesday night game nights. I kind of like it. Monday, Tuesday, play some games, and then Wednesday to Friday we do some streaming. So, well, I might as well talk about my schedule for the week. I got a full week this week. So tomorrow is John Dexter at 7 o'clock. Conversation with him. He just launched Alpha Dogs #5. I can't wait. I really, no, not Alpha Dogs. He launched Dime Store Detective #5. Can't wait for that. Best written book in crowdfunding. And then at 8:30, I'll be over at RJ's channel on the Fourth Age. I don't know what the topic is. He always sends me at the last minute. Thursday at 7, it's Harmony Ginger. We'll be talking about some Dungeons & Dragons. I poached her from Yang, who's here in the chat. And then Friday, if you're listening, Friday at 7 o'clock, do you want to do art with Oscar? I'll send him a message because I got nothing for 7 o'clock. But then at 8:30, it is. If I don't get anybody, we'll start early because at 8:30 it's clobbering time where we do imaginary fights, talk about comic book nerdness, and this week it's going to be Asgard versus Olympus. I can't wait. Oh, and speaking of which, I got a really good letter. I got an email today. Really put me in a good mood. From oh, where'd it go? Did I delete it? Oh my God, no! Did I accidentally delete it? Oh no, where'd it go? Oh, he sent it. He didn't send it to Heroic Tales. He sent it to John's Longbox. I'm looking at the wrong place. Yeah, from Ben, the voice actor, talking about how he really enjoys my channel and everything. So, and his favorite is Clobbering Time with Marcus. He just loves watching that. And then the Sunday. Yeah, those are my two favorite too. It's Clobbering Time and Sunday Comics. My two favorite. I want to respond to that email. I got 3 really cool emails. 2 of them I'm saving for videos. Maybe I'll do it next week. But we got the Master Hobo. How about art with John? Booyah! You don't want to see my art. I showed it a few times. It's kind of funny. Here is a panel layout that I sent to somebody working on one of my comics. Page 9, page 10, and here's how the panels should lay up, because in the background things are happening in the background and the panels are happening on top of it, because it's 2 different perspectives, 2 different. I'm trying to be vague on purpose, so I drew out this. I hope it's no secret. Why am I acting all secret and squirrely? It's for this sleeper agent to Luke Stone. So I sent him this, and I don't know if he read the script yet, if that makes sense or not, or whatever. Crenshaw, hey John, how's things? Things are pretty good. I was just talking about you and I was showing the campaign. Baz 150. Oh, geez, I got a mustache hair in my mouth. Hey John, how are you doing? And again, I will put this in the if anybody wants to pop in and talk comics with me. And of course, my nose starts running. Okay. All right, so let's talk about this. Chuck Dixon was on my channel, and he sent me a big package full of comics. So I got all 4 of these, something big, 1, 2, but I only read 1 and 2 so far. And this is what I was going to do tonight. And then I said, let me stream since we don't have a game night. And so I didn't read 3 and 4 yet. But oh my God, I dare say, so far, this is my favorite thing ever written by Chuck Dixon. So far, I read 50% of the story, and I freaking love this. I hope it ends well, but I have faith in Chuck that it's going to be so good. It's so good. I'm really digging it. So it's the aliens come down and just wipe out a couple of cities, and then they're just mining. So it's it's 30 years after, society crumbles and people are dealing with, and it's a heist. So this he's not in here, but one of the main character is just gonna rob these space aliens, because people still have an economy of gold. They still use gold as currency. So he's noticing that the aliens mine and they discard the gold. The aliens have no use for the gold, so he's gonna go rob the gold from the aliens. So it's a space invasion, it's post-apocalyptic, and it's a heist. It's freaking awesome. So something big. Here's number 2. I'm not showing 3 and 4, even though they're right here, because I didn't read them yet. But I read this. This is a gang leader. You know, he just took over, and they go to him because he's got all these junked cars. But it's 30 years later. People don't know how to drive. People don't know how to fix. But the main character is like a 60-year-old man, so he remembers civilization, and he's like, give me a car. You know, I want to. It's like, I'm going to kill you. So he's like, all right, I'll fix 2 cars. You can have a car, and I can have a car. He goes, otherwise they're just sitting there doing nothing. So he fixes up 2 cars, and hijinks ensue. So it's like every good heist. 90% of the story is the preparation. So good. I have that book. It's on my read pile next. Yeah, I anything with Chuck Dixon goes on top. I want to know how big Chuck's comic collection is. Chuck Dixon probably has a huge comic collection. I know he says he's gotten rid of most of his comics for like trade paperbacks and omnibus and stuff like that. It's probably a size issue. You know what I mean? He's got to condense this. Not everybody's a crazy person like me that could dedicate like a third of the basement to a comic book room. Jolly 12, how you doing? How's it going, Jolly 12? Big praise, Chuck's. Yes, Chuck's got some good stuff, and so far I'm only 50% of the way. It so far it is my favorite thing by Chuck Dixon, which is definitely high praise. Definitely high praise. And I was gonna say something else. I forget what. Hey Zaid, how you doing? How you doing? So this is 1994. It started out as 1984, and I think they got a cease and desist letter, and they changed it to 1994. And they said it was because they were getting too close to 1984, but it's really they got a cease and desist letter. So this is Warren Publishing. So this is by the same people that made Creepy and Eerie, and it started in like 1975 or so, 78. I want to say, yeah, 1978. So it started in 1978, and this is their sci-fi. I have to say that it started out like softcore porn, and I bought like 10 all at once, and I was like, I gotta read them. You know, if I buy a comic, I have to read it. So I was just like, let me just soldier through. It started to get better. There's still boobies in it and stuff like that. It seems like sci-fi, you know, they're copying heavy metal, so they got boobies. But originally it was just softcore porn, like with bad stories. And now it's pretty good. It's pretty good. One of my favorite is Gita. It's by Frank Thorne. Frank Thorne is always the same thing. He's the wizard, self-insert wizard, and then a hot chick. It's either Red Sonja, you know, or whatever. But it's pretty good. It's a total fantasy, sword and sorcery stuff. She's an ex-prostitute who becomes the goddess, and everybody worship her, and she's the queen, and they're like total hedonistic. But it's pretty good. This is AI takes over and turns on humanity and sets off nuclear apocalypse to wipe out humans, and they're like the last survivors. And she's just a robot hunter. She just goes around smashing robots. So you can see all the famous from Metropolis. This is Gort from A Day the Earth Stood Still. R2D2. I don't know who this is supposed to be, but space. This is Forgotten Planet. This is Lost Saucer. You know, all the famous robots. She smashes them all. She loads them and she smashes them. All right. Marvel 2-in-1. This is what I did for Sunday Comics. We got this wonderful nucleo over here. This is where Black Goliath changes his name to Giant Man, and Ben Grimm is over here. Wonderful cover by George Perez and Joe Sinnott. My only complaint is this arm is just extended way too much. It's not right, you know. But yeah, you know, these days we would nitpick it on the internet and claim they don't know what they're doing, and you know, then do trash casts about it for 16 hours a day, unless you did it, and then you don't know great art. It's just, you know, back there, oh, the arm's a little off. All right. And we just keep going because that's what we were doing back when we were comic book kids. My favorite Chuck Dixon indie book is Hunter Ninja Break. Yeah, I read that too. I liked it. I liked it, but I really, really like Something Big. I really like that. So what else did I read? Love and Rockets. U-Boz. Love Frank Thorne, but I wish his stuff was a little less porny. That arm looks painful. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is the newest issue of Love and Rockets. This is number 16. Love and Rockets, it went to 50 issues, then they canceled it, and then they just focused individual issue comics on characters. So there was like Penny Century, and then there was Luba and things like that. Then they went back to Love and Rockets, but it was like a weird thick size that I forget how many, I think 20 issues or so. Then they canceled it, and then they brought it back to this original. So this is the third volume, and I was like, oh, this is an interesting cover. But what it is this is a Gilbert and Jamie's mother passed away, and this was a picture that she drew in the 50s, and she loved comic books. So they used this as a tribute. So it's kind of touching. I got to say, I'm turning into a softie in my old age. I got a little emotional when I read about that. Let's see. I'll grab a whole bunch of comics. Okay. So Tarzan number 5. I bought these. I bought number 1 when it first came out, and I didn't like it. So I bagged it, bought it, put it in my comic collection, and now that I'm a crazy person now, full on absolute insane person, I've been buying. It's only 26 issues, and they're like $1 or $2 each. So I've been buying. So I bought up to 10, but I read up to 5. Just wonderful, John Buscema. It says, yeah, John Buscema and Pablo Marcos. That's a lot of Opar. The only thing I don't like is Tarzan got bonked on the head for like 3 issues. He's just like a wild, crazy animal person. Tarzan is a genius. So this is Dead at 17 by Josh Howard. This is just an art book of all of his sexy characters. Josh Howard draws like the cutest, sexiest girls. So he's doing a Dead at 17 20 years later. So the 17-year-old girl will be, 37? 37. So they'll be full-on adults revisiting everything that happened. And the only thing sexier than his girls are his women. So there you go. I can't wait for that. Came with some cards. And then this is Black Harvest. Also Josh Howard, revisiting the Black Harvest series. Believe it or not, Black Harvest was the first Josh Howard comic that I bought. Something about the art just looked amazing. I bought it. And then I got into Josh Howard. I bought Dead at 17. But the problem with Dead at 17, it was like a couple of different number 1s. So I read it out of order, and then Josh was on my channel and we talked, and I was like, when is the proper reading order? So he actually sent me a list of this is the order to read it, or you could just buy this collected volume. I was like, well, I already have the comics, so I got to reread them in order. So, and then he did T-Bird and Throttle, which I just absolutely love. So this I got a bag and board. There's the back cover. So we can put that over there. Blood and the Sword issue 2. Embry, Breenley, and Magnay. I'm sure I'm saying the name wrong. It's fine. It's a fantasy story, fantasy comic. I got to talk to him about getting the UPC code on my comics, and I things like that, make it more official. Fine. This is issue 2. I told Rich I enjoy your comics. It's I hate to say generic fantasy, but it's generic fantasy, but there's nothing wrong with that. We got a lizard man, we got a human warrior, and there's like a female a paladin, and then the intrigue now is the boy is heir to the throne, but of course his uncle is acting as regent and doesn't want to surrender the power. Things like that's going on. The Mythicals. This is Hojo's comic. I love this cover. So it's the first 2 issues were like introduction. Now the action is really starting to happen. So it's amping up. It's amping up. Can't wait for the next issue. Hojo's doing a good job. Really. Yep. And there's the print of like a tribute to David Bowie. Nancy Moon as what album is that? Station. Oh, I already showed that. He said each person gets like an individually signed letter. Okay. This is Bibliophile Kolga from this. I got a whole bunch of this. Why can't I think of the name? Apollyon XX. So this is from the Godfo universe, and this is all I read so far was Bibliophile Kolga. This my only criticism is I hate this size comic. For an old man, it's hard to read these little words, especially in this font right here. That was killing me. Otherwise, it was good. You know, my critique is formatting, not story, not art. Guys, have mercy on an old man. Old man. This was last week's Sunday Comics. Marvel 2-in-1. Oh, is this out of focus? Is this out of focus? All right, let me turn off this camera and restart it. It seems like it's the only way to. It's the only way to get it back into focus. Okay, there we go. While we're doing that, I'm trying to read more comics. Just started the Meta Barons in the midst of Psycho Slumber from Meta Barons is great. Meta Barons it's a trip. I really enjoyed the Meta Baron. What is that, Humanoid Press? It came out in America under Humanoid. That's a fun read. That is a really good read. Josh is a great artist. Absolutely. That's why Josh did my cover. You know, Josh Howard did the Mary Sue cover. Hope you're enjoying it. Yeah, Meta Barons is really good. So this is Marvel 2-in-1, Thing and Deathlock. So Ding fights Deathlock. The Thing fights Deathlock in the midst of Project Pegasus, which is an alternate power research facility upstate New York. You know, and it makes such sense. I love when there's logical, when there's a logical line through a comic book. Like in Marvel Comics, there's guys like Solar and whatever, and these supervillains are generating power and harnessing it and firing all these beams. Wouldn't the government study that? Like, where's this energy coming from? Can we replicate it? Can we use this as a cheap renewable source of energy? And that's what Project Pegasus is. Now, there's a mysterious evil scientist that's going around sabotaging it, so he lets in Deathlock. And the next issue, he unlocks Nuclo, things like that. So we will find out his nefarious plan as we continue. Might as well take these in order and put them in order, because when I read them, I put them on top of each other. So I want to put the lowest first. So now we got Local Man by Tim Seeley and Tony Flicks. This comic is the comic that gave me the idea for the flip book. So I might as well show you. So Local Man, what I like about this is, okay, so one side, it's set now, and it's got like more modern sensibilities in the art, and then you flip it over and it's set in the 90s and it's got more 90s sensibilities. So here he is as Crossjack, an extreme superhero in the 90s, and then him 20 years later, he done effed up AA Rod and moved back home with his parents, so he's like a superhero washout kind of thing. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Tim Seeley's been on my channel. I can't believe that I've been buying his comics for so long. So that's issue 10. So this is issue 11. This is the extreme side. That's Neon. Why can't I remember her name? Hardbody. I forget this guy's name, but they're all like over the top, ridiculous 90s superheroes, and then they cut to like more realistic, mundane story. So if you like 90s extreme, even Wildstar shows up. They interact with a lot of the with the old, they're retroactively fitting them into Image continuity, thrown into the wild future of Wildstar. It's funny because I had all the extreme covers, the 90s covers, and then this is the August 2024 cover, right set now. It kind of looks like a Walking Dead. And then, okay, so we got that. Oh, okay, here's the bag for Black Harvest. This is a one-shot of Local Man, Bad Girls. So it's, all the girls in the... And this is the last comic. So come on, guys, either pop in or say something. Keep me. This is Mr. X. This is number 2 of the second volume. And that's all the comics that I read since the last time I did one of these. So I will leave that here because you don't need to see my face big. Tim Seeley is a local man to me. Oh, cool. He lives near. Tell him I said hello. See if he remembers when he was on my channel. I've got a collected Project Pegasus that I got to put to the top of my pile. Cool. I need to get more Mr. X. Mr. X is a truly, truly weird comic. I read, and it's because Narwhal, Per Berg and Jason Sandborn, we're gonna do like a once a month talking about comic books kind of show, and we picked Mr. X, and I dug out all my Mr. X, and I realized I only read like the first 8 issues, and I got like 30 issues. So because I had to get them out of my to read pile, like I had the first 8 in my already read, so I reread them all, and I have no idea what's going on, and I don't think you're supposed to. It's all you know is Mr. X. Everybody knows him by a different identity. He may or may not be the architect of Radiant City, and Radiant City's driving people crazy. So there you go. That's it, and just enjoy it. Am I going to Heroes Con? I really would like to go. I would really like to go. What are the dates? I'll try to see if I can make it. The problem is I used up all my time off with my darn broken neck. I was out for 6 months, so that used up all my time until January. So I'm kind of, if I go, I'm just gonna have to not, I don't have any vacation or anything like that. I got to work it out. Can't just miss work. I like Terminal City. Yes, it's the same author. June 20 and 22nd. Okay, June. So I'll see. I could probably work a couple of days off. I could see. But the thing is flying out there and doing all that stuff. So, we'll see. I would like to. There we go. Show these. There we go. I like those. All right. Comment. Nobody wants to come in? Because I showed up all my comics that I've read. I got nothing else to really show. I showed everything that I got at Free Comic Book Day. I'm trying to look. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to talk about. Anybody? You're eating your dinner? Me too. I got a bowl of dinner right over here. My wife gave it to me right before we started streaming. So we'll eat dinner together. Any chance of getting Ralph Bakshi on? He's teaching school in Silver City, New Mexico. Oh, wow. I would love to. I didn't even think of it. I'll reach out. I'll try to find. Do you have his contact information? Sure. What's up, John? Keep talking while I work. Cool. Matt, how you doing? How's everybody? Keep talking. What do you want me to talk about? Let's talk. I'm at work. What do you do? I just assumed you were a full-time comic books guy. What do you do? Did you see that tweet where somebody's going to try a crowdfunder with no promotion except advertising? I did not see it. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, so I can't comment on it. I just will say that just things are getting nastier and nastier on Twitter. I'm thinking of just promoting my comic, promoting my channel, and not even interacting with anybody. It's just getting so depressing. It's just like, I just want to talk about comic books. I just want to talk comics. I just want to talk comic books. I might as well show off some cool stuff. I've been working with DC Miller, who is super talented. I gotta turn on Twitter because I was sending all these messages, and he was making logos for me. I couldn't think of the word. He's my logo guy now. So I've been sending out these logos to people. So let's check out some of these logos. Oh, okay. I might as well bring up this. So bring up this. This is the Crenshaw as the Patriarch cover. This will be on the back of Martina Markota. So the cosplay cover. So this is one side. You flip it over, it'll be Martina Markota, just as sexy as Martina, if you ask me, Crenshaw. Right? Talk about the rabbit in the Marvel Star Wars comics. What is it? Oh, the Jackson, the big green rabbit. Where did he appear in issue 13? I got his first appearance, Jackson. I'm surprised they didn't put him in the movies. Jackson, right? That was his name, right? And then there was the the Don Quixote the Don Quixote Jedi guy. That is why the message era of the internet was good. You could stay on topic, unlike social media. Yeah. One of the things I'm thinking about is I only have one comic right now. One comic, one back issue right now. So, you could go to Fund My Comic that works as a store. But after this campaign, I think once I'm done with Fund My Comic, I think I want to put everything on a store and just have like a long box comic storefront, and then just keep promoting that, because I got a lot of stuff. I sold two pint glasses at work today. How do you think they will use Galactus in the new FF movie? The rumor has it that he's gonna destroy the world and then move on to our universe, and that's how the Fantastic Four will get explained that nobody knows who they are. They're gonna pop up into our world. I don't know. It's such a half-assed way to do it. You know what you do? In my way of thinking, is you just have the Fantastic Four. They leave in the 60s. Galactus comes, they save the Earth. Then what do? They go to explore space. And then they come back now because they're traveling at light speed. You don't need to convoluted other universes and stuff like that. You just have one Fantastic Four, just like in the Ant-Man movie. You had Ant-Man the original Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then people are like, oh yeah, back in the 60s there was a Fantastic Four. They fought off that Galactus guy, and then we never heard from him since. And then they go into space. They're traveling at relative speeds. They come back now, so they still think it's the 60s. You can do some goofy jokes like, where's the Beatles kind of thing. The Beatles broke up. Oh, and then but they land in Latvia, and Dr. Doom captures them for invading their space. Movie writes itself. So the first movie is their origin, fight Galactus. Then they go off to space to see, are we safe? Second movie, they come back. It's now Dr. Doom. They land in Latvia because the ship was damaged. Dr. Doom captures them all, and hijinks ensue. Movie writes itself without all of this stupid multiverse stuff. So Omnipro, did I do a good job pontificating? So here's another logo. I love a mystery. I love that. There's another logo. So let's see what else I could show everybody. We got Poinsettia. That's Poinsettia. She's the one who loves a mystery. So I Love a Mystery is Poinsettia and The Public Eye. So that's going to be drawn by Marcus Kelligrew. He has the script. The first script is a short 6-issue script of the meet cute, I guess they call it, where the characters meet up, and then like a 1-page, just little fun little, they have a picnic, things like that. And here is The Public Eye. I love that. So cool. I love that. Marcus just nailed it. She just nailed. We were talking. The Public Eye does have a power. He does have a superpower. So he's different from the Question and Rorschach in Mr. A, in that he does have a power. He can see the patterns. So whenever he's using that power inside the pupil, it's going to be Kirby Crackle. And so Marcus was like, how about we make it look like the Ditko, since it's an homage to Ditko. And he drew that. I'm like, that is cool, but Kirby Crackle makes more sense than the Ditko universe, So, John, you forgot to insert an obese black lesbian in that Smarter Than Any Man. Oh, that would be spoilers. I do I have to introduce? I thought that just goes without saying. There's an idea. So there you go. So I Love a Mystery is the title for The Public Eye and Poinsettia. I can't wait. I can't wait that. So now I'm writing like a full-on story for them. I just have one 2-page story and one 6-page story as of right now. There we go. That's The Public Eye in action. So The Public Eye, without getting too spoilerific, he has a tragic backstory of abuse, and he's highly intelligent, and he gets out of his sanitarium by faking being sane. And once he leaves, he gets an apartment, he gets a job, and he sees the pattern. He's connecting all the dots. He's figuring out the grand conspiracy. But because of his perspective, there's clues that he's missing. And then Poinsettia, she has a different perspective. So that, and he has freed himself from Plato's cave. He has unshackled himself from the wall and has emerged from Plato's cave. And he wants to lead other people out of the cave. So he is the public eye, revealing everything and for the public. I love this character. I absolutely love this character. He's your guy, the public eye. There you go. There you go. The question, Mr. A, the public eye at a bar. What are they talking about? The truth. All three of them are obsessed with the truth. Even Rorschach. That's, they would form a team called the Truth Seekers. Mr. Question, that I think Ditko was just obsessed with the truth. Matt, if you're still listening, I know you went to SVA and you had all of these great. Did you ever meet Ditko? Did you ever work with Ditko? Did you ever meet with Ditko? I worked in the same building with Ditko, but I didn't know about it till years later. And I'm like, oh my God, I could have been in an elevator with Ditko. Never met him. If I had a time machine, that's one of the things I would do: go back to that building and knock on Ditko's door. Because I was an electrician. I'd be like, I have to come in, bully my way in, talk to Ditko. But if they were at a bar, what would they be talking about? They would be talking about the truth, why we shouldn't compromise. Mr. A would be like, if you tell one lie, you're a liar. I think Mr. A would be the hard line of the three. I think the question would be the most normal, and I think the public eye would probably annoy them with the way he speaks. I'm more interested in a deeper Galactus story with some canon backs. Yeah, once it's in another dimension, once it's in the multiverse, I don't care. It removes all the stakes, right? Who cares? Who cares? I totally agree with you. I totally 100% agree with you. Just want to make sure I'm not showing any things I shouldn't be showing. Let's see. Where am I? Oh, I might as well show this. This is the King Fu Memphis Fist hoodie with the Tennessee Dragon on the back. Oh man, that is just awesome. That is just awesome. I love that. I love that. That's up on the campaign page. This is what I'm talking about. I'd like to get like a storefront page. Does anybody know how to do that? Anybody know how to build a storefront page that I don't have to pay $50 a month? Make $13 a month, but I'm paying $50 a month. So if anybody knows, hit me up. I've been getting a lot of unsolicited people wanting to come into my channel. A bunch of freaks just keep trying to come into my channel. Freaks like Pops. How you doing?
What's up?
How's it going? How's it going?
I just wanted to come in and answer your question real quick.
Sure.
What am I reading? Right? That's what you want to know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got stuff that you're reading. Let's just answer this. Oh, is the public eye Julian Assange? Who the public eye is a mystery. And that's why Poinsettia loves a mystery. It's a love story about crazy people. So what are you reading, Pops?
Right now, I am reading
So I don't need
US Assassin. Oh, come on. I hate this green screen crap, man. It's like they need to do a better job with green screens, right?
Yeah, well, I bought a cheap laptop thinking it was great, and it's that's Mark Fulton, right?
Yes, that's what I'm reading right now. I'm enjoying this one.
Oh, good.
And I have a little something that I'm going to be reading next.
Oh, I got a big stack of Flip Cities.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I might as well show. I can show my stack. I got a big stack of Flip Cities right here.
Yeah, there you go.
There
you go. Good stuff. We're doing the close.
Matter of fact, I got a certificate, a Flip City magazine certificate of awesome staticity.
Awesome staticity, yes. We're doing the closeout tonight for Ditko's Amazing Heroes and Monsters.
Oh, tell him I said hello.
Mark isn't actually going to be there. Mort will be there, and Kitty will
Mort,
be there.
I said hello.
And I think Javier Hernandez is going to be there. A few people from the book and whatnot. But yeah, it's late, man. They set up the thing closes at like midnight Pacific.
Okay.
So I probably won't be awake at 3 a.m. when it counts down, but we're going to do a countdown at 11 p.m. Eastern for everybody. If you want to go out, go check out this comic. This actually 4 comics. It's amazing. It's old school Ditko characters. Great stuff. I think you talked to them too, didn't you?
Yeah, they were on my channel. They were great. Yeah. He actually sent me some original Steve Ditko writings because I was talking about this, and he goes, "I'll send." So he goes, "But you can't send them out to anybody." I didn't read them yet, so I don't know if they're, probably just insane philosophy that I love.
Yeah, it's probably cool as hell, man. And one of a kind stuff, right? What's better for us collectors than to get our hands on one of a kind stuff? It's why we do it.
Galactus is a key figure in the Fantastic Four. Yes, I love Galactus. One of the problems with Galactus is Galactus, and Pops, I'm sure you can agree with me, is he shouldn't be showing up all the time.
No.
The Fantastic Four, arguably, some people argue it. I'm not going to get heated about it, but the Fantastic Four has arguably the best rogues gallery in all of comic books. You don't need Galactus showing up every 5 issues, and the fact that Galactus was so powerful that the Fantastic Four couldn't defeat him, that they had to literally make a Deus Ex Machina to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. Now he's getting defeated by Kamala Khan and Dazzler, and they just completely devalued Galactus.
Oh yeah, they watered him down. And look, he's supposed to be this space virus or space plague, and it's like, how come he's always in our solar system?
Right?
Why?
Right. Like, and if you don't have this, you ain't fighting Galactus.
Yeah, it's like
I'm prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I'm prepared for the zombie apocalypse. I'm prepared for the inevitable wars, and I'm prepared for Galactus. So, you want to be on my good side when poop goes down.
Yeah.
I'm even ready for the damn dirty Klingons.
Nice.
So I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Fatty, Dale, Omnipo, everybody in the chat. Good to see you all. Keep giving this man your support. John, we're going to be talking more about, setting things up for the upcoming Roku soon. So,
cool. And I'm at 93 backers for Heroic Tales. Can we get 3 more backers? 3 more backers to make it 100. And then I'm going to ask for 100 more backers because I had 300 backers for issue 1. My goal is 301. Always got to be improving. So,
Yeah. And look, Heroic Tales 1 was good.
Heroic
Tales 2. If you didn't get it, go get the first one with the second one. You'll thank me later.
Whenever anybody mentions Excalibur, I gotta bring up the Excalibur. Yeah, I have the Ultimate Nullifier. I'm ready in case Mordred attacks. I'm also the rightful king of England. I should bring that up. Keir Starmer, you have a lot to answer for. Give the people free speech. I am the rightful king. What else do I have over here? I got something else. Keep talking, Pops. I'm also the Thunder God. So I'm ready.
Yeah. As long as you got one of those, you don't need nothing else.
I tell you, out of all these prop weapons that I got, this is probably the most dangerous. I could slaughter. This is just a rock on a stick. This ain't coming off. I got samurai swords. I hung out with Billy Tucci on Saturday, and we talked comics and guns all day long.
Yeah, I like Billy. He's good.
The less I say about guns, the better, though.
Well,
that gets in trouble on YouTube.
I've actually had them take down a video because somebody was showing their creations of pages in their book with the designs for their phasers and their guns, right? They were designs in a comic book, and YouTube squashed the whole stream over it. And it's like, what is wrong with you people? And then, of course, when a human went and looked at it, they went, "Oh, we're sorry, blah, blah, blah. It's okay. You can put it back up." No, you put it back up.
So again, anybody want to pop in? I'll throw the invite out. As long as people are talking, I gotta go by 10 o'clock at the latest. I gotta go to bed. But here you go.
Y'all jump in here, hang out with dude, subscribe to his channel, and pay attention because there's going to be a little more John's Long Box hopping over to the madness here soon. You watch.
And here's another spoiler. I'm working on a comic with Stippling Vaughn. He's going to be the artist. The Printer's Devil. He's an apprentice, a printer back in the Revolutionary and Colonial War times. An apprentice printer was called the Printer's Devil because they were always covered in ink and they just looked disheveled and everything like that. So I always thought that would be a great name for a superhero. So of course it's set in Revolutionary War time America. It's set after the war, but before the Constitution. So the United States is under the Articles of Confederation. And there's factions forming. Some people don't want there to be a constitutional Congress because they feel we just went through a war and you're going to set up tyranny again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We have the benefit of hindsight, 2020. You know, we know the Constitution was a brilliant piece of political, writing. But just imagine the year before. These people are like, hey, we fought the king. We died. I have a bullet hole. And now you guys are going to throw out these Articles of Confederation and start all over again. I don't trust you. You know what I mean? I got a wound. I'm invested in the Articles of Confederation. So, there's factions that form. That's all I'm saying. And unfortunately, it's part of history. There's slaves involved in the story too, because
And there's people that were still on the side of the king. There were people that were still on the side.
Oh, they're the bad guys. The people on the side of the king, get rid of them. But nah,
I mean, they still existed during that.
But in this story, there's two factions: people who are for the Articles of Confederation and the people who want there to be a constitutional Congress. And what does the Printer's Devil have to do with all this?
He's got to print it.
Let's just say documents need to get printed. Documents need to get printed. John, are you going to have an Archer character in your books? Yes. I always thought archery was a weird, like Hawkeye hanging out on a team with Iron Man and Captain America. It only works in comic books. Like they showed in the movies how limited archery was because Hawkeye didn't do that much archery.
No, Rambo's the only one that was good with the bow.
Right. So like Hawkeye, like, he shot arrows during that Skrull invasion. Who cares? But it still works in a superhero comic. So I have an Archer character. One of them was kind of backdoored into me. I didn't plan it, but my friend Mike has his own comic called Marshall Strong. Marshall Strong is his character in my game. So once I bring that up, I always got to show. Where is it now? I always got to show the rule book. Of course, it's not here. Oh, here it is. We play this role-playing game all the time. I run the game, and Mike's character is Marshall Strong. My friend Mike, if you go to Kickstarter now, go to Thunder Zone. It's one of his comics.
We're going to be doing the countdown for them on Thursday.
Okay, so you know Dan Sen. So
yeah, we're going to be doing that.
Marshall Strong's character exists in Heroic Tales world. It's just that it's coming out. So when he finishes his obligation for Dan Sen, I kind of want to bring it over to Heroic Tales, and there's a couple of continuity errors because I didn't know he was making a comic and he didn't know I was making a comic, so a couple of things don't match up. So the official Heroic long box version will come out when he's done. I'm not going to mess with Dan Sen, but he has a character called Pinpoint. And that's his nephew's V&V character. Right. So when I bring those comics into my world, I have a grandfathered in Archer character that I had nothing to do with called Pinpoint. But I have an Archer character, and he's only this big. This big. His name is Little John. He's Little John. And he's stuck at Ant-Man size, so he developed archery skills to make himself actually useful. So
I broke a little news today about an RPG character myself.
Okay, what's yours?
Dante from Slaughterville, my character, Dante Sinferno, is going to be playing golf with Mr. Fringe, the front man from the Lunatics Fringe. And we are going to film it, and we are going to have a great time. We're both going to be in character playing golf.
Cool.
It's gonna be hilarious, dude. That's all I can say.
So
You know,
here is almost the finished logo for the Raven. It's not quite finished yet. So you see where it says the? I'm going to push the into the R. So
Right.
it'll say the.
make it black.
Yeah, the Raven. So that's the Raven is debuting in the next in Heroic Tales number 3. That one is set in stone. So Heroic Tales 3 has to have the follow-up for Mary Sue, and it has to introduce the Raven for the grand story to make sense.
Right.
But the Printer's Devil, that's outside of the grand story. Although I have an idea of how to pull it together. So that could be in. And then the story that I'm working on with Luke Stone, the sleeper agent, that's outside of the grand story, but not really, because he's going to be part of the team. So all of these characters that I'm introducing are going to form a team if I make it to Heroic Tales 10. So the Patriarch, Mary Sue, the Raven, all of these characters will be the superhero team. So I got plans, Pop. So we got to get my comic to 10.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling past other logos that I just can't show yet. I can't show these because
there's just a ton of good stuff in the indie world, and y'all need to keep paying attention to what everybody's doing.
Right, there's a ton of good stuff in the indie world, and everybody's fighting online instead of talking about comic books.
You see, I'm doing my best not to get no fights, John.
Right?
I'm doing my best, man. I'm trying.
You're doing good. I don't see you fight with anybody. Here is a work in progress for the Sleeper Agent logo. I was thinking of I like the writing, but then maybe make it like a word balloon with some Z's. So
yeah.
wow,
Z's.
What do you guys think? Anybody else want to pop in?
I like Z's. I like Z's. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Make the Z's the background of the logo.
If anybody needs logos done, talk to DC Miller. He's
Marcus.
Marcus is doing my art. He's not doing logos.
No, I was telling him, get in here. I'm gonna leave. You get somebody else in here. Come hang out with John. I gotta go because I got a show.
Okay, go. I don't want to keep you here if you.
We got another show, bro. I'm always got another show.
Don't be late.
Y'all have a good night. Peace. Take care of everybody. Take care of each other.
So this is a working Public Eye logo, except there's going to be a hand there. So that's not the complete one. So I'll try to find where is I thought I sent it to Marcus. Oh well, I guess I didn't. So these are all logos and things like that. Anybody else have any questions? Anybody else want to talk about anything? I'm looking for more. Whenever I can't think of anything to say, I start selling my comics. So there you go. Marcus is here. Marcus, you want to pop in? Anybody want to pop in? I'm only going to talk for 15 minutes at the most. I got to go to bed. Are you going to have a muck monster like Swamp Thing or Solomon Grundy? Yes. I don't know how I'm going to work them in. But if you don't have talking gorillas, if you don't have a muck monster, you ain't doing comic books right. So here is a link. Yeah, the muck monster is going to be called the Bogatir. A Bogatir is basically it's a French word for swamp monster. So there you go. So he'll be in the Louisiana Louisiana Cajun Bayou. Hey Ben, I was just talking earlier about your letter today. What a great letter! You really put me in a good mood today. Thank you. I didn't read your letter, but I talked about it when I first started streaming tonight. So thank you again. That sometimes you just get a letter and it's just puts you in a good mood. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any more logos in here that I could show. I'm okay. I guess not. Or is there? Oh yes, I could show this one. And of course, I hit the wrong button. 2 ways to load all these files, and I always make it the longest possible way to load. But this one, I don't know if Marcus has seen this. So this might be Marcus's first time seeing this, but this is going to be the logo, the official logo for the Public Eye.
So there you go. Awesome. Missed the first part of the stream. We'll have to watch. Yeah, yeah. The first thing, you know, my typical format is I load up everything, then I filibuster, and then get into the topic at hand. So when I was filibustering, I was saying that you sent me a letter. You sent me a letter. That it just put me in a good mood. I was having it's just a rainy, dreary day at work today. And then I saw your letter, and it put me in a good mood. See on. He sent me these 3 letters that are just topics for videos and they're such well written. I don't want to just fumble out of the gate. So I'm actually want to prepare and talk about them. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is I've been getting some like unsolicited artists, like, oh, this is my art, this is my page rate, you want to work together? And some of it's really good, but the page rate is so low that makes me think like either they're from like a third world country or it's a scam. So how, you know, I figure maybe I'll write like a real complicated page and see if they draw it, you know, because then I'm only losing whatever. But I don't know. I prefer to work with people that I already know. Like at this point, like Stippling Vaughn, I know. Marcus, I know. Luke Stone, I know. Renzo, I know. You know what I mean? So like I have no need to solicit outside work. But these guys, it's like really good and really cheap. It's got to be a scam, right? It's been a long couple of days. I haven't had any coffee. I totally understand. I did go about talk about the book. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah. Oh, you like the logo? Good. Cool logo. Cool. Good. I'm glad you like it. So I'm gonna I'll turn that off. Turn off that screen. See if there's anything else I can spoil, because I'm spoilerific that way. I got another logo that I can't spoil. What is this? This is an unmarked. Oh, okay, that's the Mary Sue. Everybody's seen that already. It's on the cover of the comic. Is there any other logos that I could show? I got 2 more logos, but I can't show them. I can't show. Oh, I didn't see this. So I have a file that I share with DC Miller. So he uploaded so he doesn't even have to tell me that he uploads. So we're going to see this together. I haven't seen this yet. So let's check this out. This is the Raven logo. Oh, perfect. That's just what I wanted. Cool. My page rate is a scam. Well, I'm paying you Monopoly money, so whatever you want. You want $500 a page? I'll mail you Monopoly money. So how's that? Yo, Marcus? So it's pretty good. I'm working with an extreme artist, Marcus Kellergrew. So that's the Raven. He will be debuting in issue 3. So issue 3 of Heroic Tales will have I call it the conclusion to Mary Sue, even though Mary Sue is a complete story. But I want to talk about what happens in the first, and I feel if I wait too long, it's not going to have the emotional impact. And also it's gonna Mary Sue guest starring King Fu, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. Mary Sue's gonna realize that she can't fight. She's a tiny 100-pound, college student nerd, and all of a sudden she's got superpowers. She's got to fight, so she got to get trained. Who do you get trained by? The greatest martial artist on the planet, who also happens to be an Elvis impersonator. Phil, are you getting a table at Heroes Con? People, I'd like to go to Heroes Con. I don't know if I could work it out this year. I used up all my time off breaking my neck, literally. So Zaid's going to be there. Cool. I would love to see Public Eye team up with The People. Oh my God, that is just a great comic. Excuse me, I got the burps because I just drank a big soda. So anybody else want to come in? Otherwise, I'll be closing it down. And Marcus will be there. Heroinberg, Hail Chat coming in late. We spent free comic book day tabling next to Bendis at a local comic shop. How did everyone spend Saturday? I spent my Saturday. Billy Tucci was just like, "Hey, John, what are you doing Saturday?" I was like, "What?" Billy Tucci, because last free comic book day, I met Billy Tucci, I met Cecil, and I met up with Vaughn Coleman, and we all went to a comic book store, and it was packed. And I didn't expect Billy Tucci to remember me, but he was like, "Hey, we had fun last time. Come on down." So it was a lot smaller, and then we went to a bar. Me, Billy, and his wife. It was a lot of fun. Talked about guns, and we talked about work. My job. He was fascinated with my job. I guess a lot of comic book people don't meet a lot of construction workers, So there you go. How you doing, Tony? Good to see you.
Hey, John. Good to see you again. How's everything going?
Everything's going well. How's everything down there by the Frontier Diner? Did you get a Frontier burrito? Well, actually, my wife looked up. Did you get a cinnamon bun, a cinnamon roll?
Really? Yeah. Every time I'm in that area, I always pick one up. Yeah.
My wife's smiling. She's never been there, but I told her when we go to Albuquerque, we got to go to the Frontier Diner. So she of course looks at the menu and shows me. Did you ever have one of these cinnamon rolls? I've never had one. I need to correct that because every time I go there, it's because I'm craving their burrito. It's as big as the plate. It is awesome. Smothered in green chili.
Next time you're there, seriously, look me up and I'll take you guys, both of you, down to the Frontier and to the Doghouse and to Taco Cell. Get you guys nice and set.
Taco Cell is awesome. I've been to Taco Cell. The Doghouse?
Yeah, the best chili dogs and chili fries, and
that must be new because I would have went there because I left in 1999, so that probably didn't exist yet.
Oh no, they've been there since the 70s, man.
Man. So they still have. Is it called Bob's?
Yeah, Bob's Burgers. Yeah, the Ranchero. Yeah.
Ranchero Burger. Oh my God, my mouth is watering just think of it. Zaid Comics says he'll have more issues of the people at Heroes. Cool. I got your comics over here, Zaid. I didn't read them yet. I as you can see, I haven't really read that much. So we'll just address this last comment, and then you say whatever you wanted to come on here to say. Can't wait to see Zaid at Heroes. We'll be at Phillipsburg, New Jersey, con this Saturday. Tons of creators, only $5. Oh man, I put in for overtime this week, so I'm not making any plans because rumor has it that it's going to be in 18 hours, time and a half. I can't turn that down. I can't. That's like getting 2 weeks' pay in 1 week. So,
yeah,
how's it going, Tony?
Oh, everything's fine, man. Are you staying above the fray of all the Comicsgate back and forth there?
Absolutely. I could not be less interested. In people fighting.
That's not what this is all about. Yeah, it's just turned me off on the whole thing completely, pretty much.
I'm not in anybody's camp. I don't hate anybody, and I just wish they would stop fighting. It's not good. I think it's cultivating a fan base of drama fans, not comic book fans.
No, yeah.
So that's what I think.
It's just drama farming. That's all it is, man.
Maybe I should start drama farming and get more sales. I don't know. And then people just get my comic, don't read it. Just hey, look.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, man, you're better than that. Seriously, you're one of the better ones out there.
Or maybe I should do a boob comic. Yeah, that'll be Heroic Boobs will be the next issue. Brooding Viking is an awesome name. I reside in the Good Comics camp. Good.
Yeah,
I like your avatar. That looks cool. Yes, it's disheartening. My wife and I were talking. I forget if it was Saturday night or Sunday night. We're just saying, just like there's like a like in the background, like there's like just like a background feeling of like doom and anxiety. I hate when people go, I have anxiety, but like I'm starting to get like and so Monday I just messaged. I said we got to stay off social media. Like we'll both just get we don't have kids, so we'll spend a lot of time just doom scrolling. You know what I mean? Things like that. Like, but it was nice to hang out with Billy in a bar. Me, Billy, and his wife were just talking. We're watching the game, having a beer. Eating burgers. Just talking. Talking about man stuff. We would talk about guns and work and job, and all of that went away. And then 10 o'clock at night, he had to go to a wedding, so we kind of left,
Mhm.
and then we're back, and I'm sitting here, this guy's fighting with this guy, this guy's pointing out this guy's mistake on this guy's comic book, and I'm like, who cares? Like, were you here earlier when I pointed this out?
No, I just joined in about half an hour ago or so after I got off of work. But yeah, I mean, I noticed now there's a big kerfuffle with Yellow Flash.
Yeah, Yellow Flash will be on my channel on Friday, and I'm gonna try my best to just talk about comic books. I don't care about his fighting with anybody else or other people fighting with him. But I was talking about this. If you notice, the thing's arm is messed up. George Perez, one of my. Now nowadays we're supposed to talk about how George Perez doesn't know art and he's an idiot, and the editors doesn't know comic books and he's a tourist and he's a grifter and blah blah. But as a kid, I was just like, hey, his arm's messed up. This comic book's awesome.
Yeah, I get you.
I don't know.
Yeah, you just nitpick so much, you just destroy
Right.
your enjoyment.
And that's why I'm saying that these people aren't comic book fans, because how many Jack Kirby drew Reed Richards with two left hands so many times because his arms were stretching and he's so fast, or two left feet, things like that. Yes, Poinsettia has big boob. That's actually like a point that I said to Marcus. I said she's supposed to be like va 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 va.
Like she was made by Wally West, right? Like
actually, yeah, Wally West is a good one, but I said she's supposed to be as if she was drawn by the Hernandez brothers.
yeah.
I'm a big Love and Rockets fan, so Marcus got this picture. I don't know why I'm shouting at you. I'm like thinking that you're so far away that I got to shout. So Marcus got this picture, and it's funny because this is the exact picture that I was thinking in my head. So it just shows you how we're on the same wavelength. I forget the name of this character, but that's kind of the body type. I just know that behind this character, I forget her real name, but in the comics, the Vivian, that's it. She's Vivian, and she's beautiful, and they call her Frog Mouth because she never stops talking. And all the guys are super interested. They're always hitting on her, but she's out of her mind. So she's always going through men because it doesn't matter that she looks like that. It's the crazy to hotness ratio. So she's got to be super crazy when she's that hot. So this is and it's funny that when Marcus was researching, this is what he came up with. I said, that's the picture I was thinking, or at least that's the character that I was thinking of. Viv. Yes, Viv. And she has a little sister named Tanta. And it seems like Love and Rockets goes through these cycles of who the main character is. I guess there's two brothers. So it's Gilbert. I love Gilbert. It's set in now I can't think of the name of it's a fictitious Mexican village. It translates as Pigeon Coop, but I always forget the name of the city. But that's where they're all from, and there's like 104 different characters, and each one of them has an interesting story. And they come to America, then they come back to America. It's so good. So, and unfairly, people say that Gilbert tells good stories and Jamie has great art. Well, I disagree. I think they both have unique, great art and unique, great stories. And Jamie has the Locas, the crazy girls. And it was Maggie for so long, but I think his interest is changing into this character called Tanta, and she's just this ugly little girl. It's like she's like simian looking, and she likes a boy, but the boy likes her, but he's afraid to admit that he likes her because he knows he's gonna make. It's kind of sad, You can't like the girl that you like because
simian looking, like Dorothy Spiner from Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Like her. Okay.
Well, not. I mean, she has simian features. She doesn't look. She's not a mutant or anything like that. She's just an ugly little girl. But she's got a killer body, and her sister is Vivian. So you got the hottest sister in the world, and then you look unfortunate. You know what I mean? It's a good story. I think Jamie has such great stories and great characters. It's unfair to say that Gilbert's the story guy and Jamie's the art guy, because I do prefer Jamie's art, but I also love Gilbert's art too. I think they're both great. Is that Birdland? I think it's from Birdland. Actually. Palomar. That's the name. Love and Rockets is Palomar, probably from Paloma, which means dove. Yeah. Palomar is the name of the fictitious town. I love it. If anybody, it's kind of a rough read because they jump around in time. So like Luba will be a young girl, and then Luba will be in her 60s, and then Luba will be 30 years old. You know what I mean? And you just got to pick it up from the context. I used to meticulously, like a conspiracy person, map out Love and Rockets and try to. And one day I was going to put them all in the correct order and read them all in the correct. I said, you know what? I just enjoy it as it comes out. Just enjoy it. Jamie's brilliant. They're both brilliant. And then there's Marcos, the lesser known brother, Marcos Hernandez. I think he's the oldest brother, and I think he does something else. But he did the art for the original. It was Marcos and Jamie, I think, the original Mr. X, the first 4 issues. And if you read the letters pages, they're like, yeah, you know, their run was over. Love and Rockets is taking up all the truth is they didn't get paid. So
Yeah.
you know, they were working and working and working, and it's just like everybody's talking about this comic. Where's the money? Like, there is no money. So like, well, there is no Hernandez brothers working on this comic then.
Yeah, I read a little bit of it in the past. It never really, I never really connected with it, but yeah, I'm kind of have a tertiary familiarity to Love and Rockets. Yeah, I did love Mr. X though.
Yeah, Mr. X.
I love Mr. X.
It's
Yeah,
funny because you are a spitting image for Ray, the guy who ends up marrying Maggie. Like you have the same hairstyle, you have the same shape of your head as Ray. He's like the regular guy. You know, he's like the same normal regular guy. He always loved, everybody always loves Maggie, but Maggie always, you know, she's crazy and always moving back. And now they finally settle down and get married, and now Maggie's his teacher and Tanta's in her class. So Palomar means dovecote, a place where doves. I always thought it meant pigeon coop, but maybe a dovecote is a fancy name for. It's a pigeon coop for doves, so we have to have a better name. I don't know. I always thought Palomar meant pigeon coop. Hernandez brothers, voluptuous Latinas like Penny Century. Yes, Penny Century. When I first saw Penny Century in a poster, I was like, I got to get these comics. I bought Love and Rockets. I think I bought the first 5 issues when they came out, and I was a kid, and it was, you know, it wasn't anything I was interested in. I just bought it because Larry, the guy who owned the store, told me I should get them, but I didn't like them. They were insane. And then when I saw Penny Century, I went and got, you know, the back issues, and I've been a fan ever since.
Did you ever read Strangers in Paradise?
Yes.
No.
Terry Moore's been on my channel a few times.
Yeah. But were you like the same level of affection for Strangers in Paradise as you are for Love and Rockets, or does Love and Rockets sort
I
of?
feel bad saying this because Terry's been on my channel and he's a great guy. Him and Tonic Ball, because Tonic Ball loves him too. He's such a cool, chill guy. But my problem with Strangers in Paradise is I loved the normal day-to-day stuff, like Kachu and Francine getting an apartment, fighting, picking out wallpaper, you know, and then there's a guy who comes sniffing around the house that's in love with Kachu, and Kachu's in love with Francine, but Francine's not into girls, so she's looking for this other guy. You know, I love all of that stuff. And then they get caught up in this international espionage of killer assassin girls, and you know, that part I could care less about. You know, I just wish it was just like this love triangle between David, Kachu, and Francine, and then Francine and everybody else. And then they kind of resolved that. I bought them all. I read them all. I think it's a phenomenal book. I totally recommend it. I think it's great, especially because at one point, like, Kachu might as well be James Bond. Like Terry Moore was like, it's supposed to be realistic and stuff like that. Well, this girl's like 5'2" and she's like fighting. You know, it just took me out of it. Whereas Francine is like 6'2" and couldn't fight her way out of a paper bag. It's just like Kachu's the tough one. But I do like it. I get anything Terry Moore. Like he followed it up with Echo, which was a full-on superhero comic in the same world, and then he followed that up with Rachel Rising, about a girl who was strangled to death and came back to life. You know, he has, and then Motor. I forget it was Motor Girl. It was about a girl mechanic who is an Iraqi war vet who has PTSD, and she sees this stuffed animal as a real gorilla. I love all. It's always female lead. But one of the things that Terry Moore does is he has a comic and he'll introduce a secondary character or a tertiary. Then the next comic is about that tertiary character. So all of the characters were introduced almost in Strangers in Paradise, and got their comics. I really like. Funny story about that is I was missing an issue for years. I just couldn't find it because those early issues were they didn't print a lot of them, and I had to get first prints. So I had a second edition or a third edition, but I wanted to get a first print. And when I visited my buddy in Seattle, I went to the comic store, and they had it at the Antarctic Press. I think it was issue 2 of the first 3-issue limited series, and I finally bought it. And I remember my buddy's wife at the time was reading it. She was looking through it, reading it, and she looks. She goes, "Is this comic for lesbians?" And I go, "Lesbians could buy it." I don't I don't think Terry Moore would be upset if lesbians bought this comic, but it's not specifically for lesbians. I said, I'm not a lesbian, at least not the last time I checked.
It's like Yuri, right? Like in that genre, Yuri.
It's not even. It's pretty tame by today's standards. I think Terry Moore was very protective of his characters. I think there's one boob scene of Kachu's boobs, and that's like the whole point is somebody shouldn't have been looking. You know what I mean? And it's like it's a big deal. But I couple like the Parker girls are all prostitutes. Secret agent prostitutes, and some of them will take their shirts off. Like the whole point is that they're supposed to be seducing a character, but Kachu and French, I think he's very protective, and there's nothing really gratuitous. It's very tastefully done. I'd recommend it to anybody. I think I bought like a complete book. Yeah, I think I did, and I gave it to my niece to read. She was like 15 at the time. I don't think it's anything a kid couldn't. An emotional. I mean, an intelligent kid couldn't handle. I mean, there's themes like murder, espionage, assassination, and prostitution. But then again, so does every television show.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
It's a common Spanish place name like Palomar Observatory. And so okay, yeah, that's right. I've heard that Palomar Observatory my entire life, and I never made the connection. Yeah, okay, that's funny. And there was a TV show that used Palomar as like a goofy name. So it's after 10. Anything you want to say? Because I gotta go to bed. I gotta wake up.
No, man, I just wanted to come by and say hello again. Like I said, every time I can, I try to squeeze in here if I can.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate you coming in. It's
always definitely want to come by in that clobbering time. What is it? Asgard versus
Olympus.
Yeah, Olympus. There you go.
Asgard versus Olympus. And then people ask it, is it the comic books or is it? Yeah. Yes, I'll say yes.
For yes to both. All right.
I'm thinking I might because 9:30 because of the time difference. Yellow Flash is going to come on my channel, but I don't want to cut off that discussion, so I might start its clobbering time earlier. Like I might start it at 7, so we have plenty of time because that's a topic I could talk about forever. So, what do you guys think? I got 75 people watching. Should I just start its clobbering time at 7 so we could go for 2 hours?
Hell yeah!
And
that's
stop.
2 hours. That's worthy of 2 hours of conversation right there. Yeah,
because I could see some people not getting a message and like, oh, it started already. You know what I mean? I don't want to, like I'm thinking people are waiting by their clocks for me. Marcus says it's fine by me. He's the co-host, so that'll work out. All right, but I'm all of a sudden I got super sleepy. So
all right, man. Well, I don't want to overstay my welcome. See you later, John.
See you guys. Bye, everybody, and pick up Heroic Tales 2 at 97 backers. It's so much. If you like the first one, you're gonna love the second one. It's so much better. 2 complete stories. It's got Renzo drawing both stories. The Patriarch is colored by Daniel de la Silva Rodriguez, and the Mary Sue is colored by Oscar Carreno. It's so good, so good. So, and of course I'm saying that, but I'm not just saying that. It is so good. Marcus read the Mary Sue story. The Mary Sue story is put to bed. It's done. It's completed. I had an editor check it out. It's all done. Renzo is more than halfway done on the Patriarch story. And then Daniel's right behind him, coloring them. So I'm hoping to ship early. People are saying good night. See you at clobbering time. There's the link, Heroic Tales. They use the feathers of pigeons to make pillows and other luxury objects. Pigeon coaches were a sign of a high status in colony town. Okay, there you go. There you go. I didn't know all that. See, I get educated when I live stream. I wasn't gonna live stream tonight. I was just gonna read comics. But there you go. I'm gonna stop while the stopping is good. Otherwise, I'll talk for another hour and a half. All right, bye everybody. Back row.